Hello, everyone. My name is Theresa Bartelle, and I am with Bartelle's Financial Coaching. Thank you so much for joining my show. And if you like the content that will be presented to you today, I ask that you will subscribe to my channel. And today I will be interviewing Mrs. Jackson, and she will be explaining some of the lessons that she's learned through her financial journey throughout her lifetime. Thank you so much. And again, sit back and enjoy the show. Hi, Miss Jackson. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Look, I'm doing okay. I'm doing really good tonight.
Me too.
Well, good,
Yes.
good. I just want to thank you so much for joining my podcast, my channel, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. And tonight, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. My name is Rohnett Jackson. Been in the military for now for about 17 years, going on 18. One child, married. That's from Wilmington, North Carolina. That's pretty much it. I'm a born person. I go home, go to work, go to the gym. That's my daily
How-
life.
yeah, so that's your routine, going to
Yes.
work, doing the gym.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then that's good. And so now my channel is about financial lessons, and I want to inspire the public with financial things. And being that you've been in the military for 17 years, I'm thinking when you came in, your ranking was pretty low.
Yes, ma'am. I was an E3.
Okay, and so as an E3, was that like, were you penny pinching? Did you have to budget a lot? And then a lot of people may not know like what an E3 is. Like, can you
So
explain the ranking a little bit?
yes, it's a private first class. It's like so you got private PV1, you got PV2, and then you got PV3. So when I originally came in, because I did ROTC, I came in as a PFC. So I skipped PV1 and PV2 because of the fact that I did ROTC. So I skipped all the way up to that rank when I got in. But as a PFC, you don't make much money. You live in the barracks. So back when I was a PFC, I think I don't really remember how much I made, but it wasn't enough. Even though I was living in the barracks, I still had to pay a car note, car insurance, and like cell phone bill. And if I wanted cable in the barracks, I had to pay for that as well. As a young soldier, I wouldn't recommend people going out here buying these expensive, fancy cars, because I did that. I went out there and bought me a little a Mustang, and the APR was high. APR was high. Paid about $500 a month in insurance. The car note was $500, so that's $1,000. Already going out a little bit. So I would recommend for all new soldiers coming in, a lot of them want to buy like Camaros and Chargers and Mustang. Don't do it. APR is high. Your insurance is gonna be high because you're young. Like I wouldn't recommend no young soldier doing that at all. That's the mistake I made. Trying to be flashy, I guess. I don't know. Live like the Jones. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, but what happens is when we get these jobs, we feel like we got to prove something to somebody. So we'll go out and we'll get the nice car, we'll wear the nice clothes, but then you don't really even have the money to put the gas in the thing, but you're trying to impress somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah. We walking.
Yeah.
After we buy the car and pay for the insurance, we basically walking if the gas ain't in there because you can't afford it. You can't afford the gas.
But so how did you make it? Did you have somebody helping you? Were you married then? How did you make it?
No, ma'am. Paycheck to paycheck. So I basically had to. I paid the $500 for the car insurance, $500 for the car. I had to eat at the defect, honey, because if I didn't, I was starved. Paid my cell phone bill. That took the rep. So I basically lived paycheck to paycheck. I had to wait on the next paycheck to kind of hold me over to the next one came.
Okay, now can you tell what the audience?
I didn't have no help. Like I didn't have anybody helping me like financially when I was that young. I had to figure it out for myself.
Okay, so your parents didn't help you, nobody.
No.
But figuring it out for yourself did help you a lot, I'm sure.
It took a minute. It took a minute. Even when I got to the rank of E4, I still was a little dumb. I still was out there, like you said, buying the clothes. I needed to wear name brand clothes. I needed to have the Jordans. I needed to have, the nice cell phone. And then, you get caught up in the payday loans. And then now you're still in debt. You're further in debt than you were when you bought the car.
Back up. Okay, now I got two things for you. The first thing is the people who are listening to us, my viewers, they may not know what the barracks are. Can you explain what the barracks is?
So it's pretty much a living quarters for like soldiers that's from like E1. I've seen some people all the way to E6 actually stay in the barracks. It's like free lodging for the soldiers. that are like single soldiers. It's a single soldier thing. So you stay in the barracks so you can save money or just to house you, basically.
Okay, so now you are my first guest that has mentioned a payday loan.
Don't
Can
do
you
it.
tell me about your experience with payday loans? Girl, this is good.
So you go in there, either the payday loan or a title loan, either one. They the same difference. They same devil. You go in there for the payday loan, it's like they'll loan you the money until payday. And then when payday comes, you're damn near broke again because you got to pay them the loan back, plus the bills you done had. So it was like, what was I thinking?
So how did you dig from up under the payday loans? Because I've been blessed. I haven't had to use a payday loan, but I have heard horrendous stories about these people, like they loan sharks. They have high interest rate. How did you get from up under a payday loan?
I literally had to let go of the car. I literally had to eat like a poor man's meal. I had to stay at the barracks and stay at the DFAC. Seeing that where I lived and where I had to go train was damn near walking distance. So me having the car, it really didn't matter unless I wanted to go out and do other stuff. I could have got a taxi or something like that to go. So I had to give up my car. That means insurance in the car was gone. And then I pretty much had to live like a poor man. Like I had to literally like cut off stuff that I really didn't need. I had to actually live off my want, not need. I had to live off my needs and not my want.
So when you say you gave up the car, did the car get repossessed or you volunteered and turned it in? Did it go on your credit?
Volunteer. Now my credit was shot because I had to volunteer to turn it in. Yes, ma'am. Because
so how old were you then?
Like 18.
Oh, wow. So now dealing with the payday loans, is that what eventually made you have to turn the car in? What was the tilting point that made you turn the car in?
So it's embarrassing. So the tilting point that made me turn the car in is when I tried to go purchase something at the Walmart or the store and the car declined. Like, and then you look at your bank account, it's in a negative and you owe the bank because you done went overdraft. So it's like, I need to figure out my life. So all of that in one made me like make some tough decisions. Like I need to just let this stuff go and try to get control of my finances.
So was that embarrassing?
Yes, yeah. Especially when you at the restaurant, it's like, man, your car declined. And you like, that is embarrassing.
No, can you say that a little louder? What did you just say?
When they get to the register, you swipe a little card, you ain't got no money in there. And they be like, man, your car declined. And you behind you, and they looking at you, you looking at them like, so yeah, that was the end of that. I had to that was the embarrassing moment for me, so I had to let that go.
So you had the car looking all big. You could barely put gas in the car. You was doing payday loans. And when you got to the register and they declined your card, that is what woke you up.
It's that in the combination of the payday loan, struggling to pay them back, paying the car note, paying insurance, trying to keep the cell phone bill on, wanting to watch a little cable in the barracks, like everything just all together. All of it tied together, and I had to get my life together.
How long did it take you to get your finances in order to where you wasn't living paycheck to paycheck?
Probably till I like the rank of E5, really. Because I didn't make the best decisions as E4. I feel like I was still going in that same era until when I got E5, I feel like that's when everything really clicked because I was still having the same behavior as an E4. And then, of course, I made more money as an E4. So I think now I got a little extra train. That was the wrong answer. So then it was like when I became a sergeant, I had to get my life together. I had soldiers that I had to mentor. I can't be out here looking terrible trying to mentor them. So I was like, and then when that car declined,
So you know what it feels like to deal with the payday loans. You know what it feels like to be in line and your car get declined. So from E3 to E4, you were still making some dumb decisions, right? And so now that I have you on here, if we have any soldiers that are on here, if we got any parents of soldiers, anybody who knows a young soldier, can you give them like some straightforward advice on things not to do? Like we already said, don't go out getting these cars. What else they need not to do?
So don't go out here buying this flashy jewelry. It's not worth it. It's just an item. I know people want to wear like the name brand clothes. It's okay to want name brand, but some of these people want to go out here and buy Balenciagas and all this stuff that's like damn near your one paycheck. You got to pay $1,200 for a pair of shoes and you broke. Like, don't do it. Just because you want to look good, you want to impress somebody, you struggling. They probably living their best life, and you struggling trying to keep up with them. Don't do it. Like, it's really not worth. It's not worth it, because when you start getting older and you start realize how bad your credit got, you struggling to get that right. You can't really buy stuff because of the credit. Can't get no credit cards. Buying a car will be hard again because your interest rate gonna be higher. Like, it's a lot of stuff. I just wasn't recommend like going out trying to be flashy. Like, just think about your decisions first. You don't need a fancy car. You just need a car to get from here to there. When you start getting enough money in your bank account and you start having enough, your financial stability, then you can think about buying a more expensive or nicer car. Right now, you just need a little car to get you from where you got to go back to where you live. That's it.
Okay.
Partying,
So wait, now what did you say? Say that again.
The partying. Don't do all that partying.
Okay, so can you talk about that a little bit? Because I know, like, some of these young soldiers, when they just leaving home, especially if they leave a home where the parents had rules, they are just gonna go wild. So can you talk a little bit about them partying?
I was in a strict household, so when I did get free, I got free. So when I got in the military, I ain't had nobody telling me what to do. I mean, except for my NCO. But when I got off work, especially on a Friday, when it was like 8, 9 o'clock, we in the store trying to buy the outfit and the shoes to match. And then by like 10, we in the club, parlay until about 2 or 3 in the morning. And then we have formation at 6. I don't know how.
So you spent a lot of money. All right, so we got any soldiers listening to us. Please don't spend all your money partying. Don't spend all your money buying these flashy cars because you can't afford it. Nope. And later on, when your credit get all messed up and you might get married and have a family, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing because your credit messed up. So I hope we got some soldiers listening to us, because the story that you're telling is real. Like, it might have happened to you, 10 or 15 years ago, but in 2023, it's happening now. Like, it's worse because these iPhones, the prices are ridiculous. And these young soldiers, they're going to be competing with each other. Yes, then we got some young soldiers, they getting married too young. Well, forgive me, but some of them, they getting married too young. And they having children. You can't afford it. Okay. But now we do know, yes, with the military, you can start out as a low rank, but you have opportunities to go up in rank. So, like, what is your rank now? So you went from an E3 when you came in to what are you now?
You know, I was a troubled soldier at a point in time in life. So it took me a little longer to progress in life because I was getting trouble. But I'm an E7 now. E7.
And so you used to get in trouble.
Yes, ma'am. You got to think, I came from a strict household. I'm free.
Yeah.
I can do what I want to do. So that's basically what I did.
Okay, so now that you basically did what you wanted to do, I want you to say something to these soldiers who came from a strict household. What not to do. Okay, you talked about the partying, but they need to remember what their parents taught them at home. So can you talk to some soldiers about that too?
So if you did have active parents in the house and they did try to tell you, don't go do this, they're only telling you that to help you in the long run. We always rebel against our parents because we feel like they don't know what they're talking about. They actually do know what they're talking about, because once you get up in the age, you're going to realize, like, dang, I made some stupid decisions when I was younger. And your parents are pretty much trying to block you from that stupid decision. So I just want to say, listen to your parents. They're going to tell you the truth. Now, those of you who all that didn't have active parents, you're trying to figure it out as you go. Basically, that's what they're trying to do. So it's just like, they probably just need somebody that's a good mentor to try to guide them from making the bad decisions.
Okay. So that makes sense. So now you're E7. So you've been in the military for 17 years. So I know, like, in between when you was doing the payday loans until now, there had to be some jump in the middle with your finances. Can you tell us some things that you learned, like, in the middle of your military career?
So after I pretty much got out of like the debt, I started making like smarter decisions. Like, it was things that I knew I didn't really necessarily need. So I kind of just cut those. When I originally cut everything off, and then I got to where I want to be when I was financially stable, I actually just went ahead and was like, you know what? I can actually buy what I want to buy now, like, without having to think about a payday loan where I have to live in check to check. So I kind of just stuck with that. I kept that and kind of just pretty much buy things that I actually need, not that I actually want. It allowed me to be, like I said, financially stable. So now if I want to buy something, I can just buy it. I don't have to sit and worry about it.
Okay, so this is a big problem for people too. So that's one of the reasons why I became a financial coach, is that I want to help people free themselves from debt. Can you tell the audience how did you get out of debt? What did you do?
So I looked at all my 3 credit bureaus. I seen where I was either like missing payments or I was due. I kind of like contacted the credit bureaus and said I want to like settle. I say I want to settle, and they'll tell you, okay, pay this, and then it'll come off your credit in so many months. So basically, that's what I did with a lot of things that was actually on my credit. I kind of called them and settled and paid the money, and then I let my credit run its course. I kind of let everything fall off, and after everything fell off, I still didn't jump out there and just get something. I kind of waited a little bit, and then I said, okay, now I can go out here and buy this car, finance this car, or maybe I can go out here and buy this house. And then like I did it like that. I kind of like waited till most of the stuff fell off my credit, got my credit straight, and then I went into like purchasing things more responsibly.
What do you call responsibly?
If I wanted to buy something, I knew the IPR was too high. If I just knew like what they were trying to, sell me was just too high, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. Because I already knew you were trying to scam me, so I'm like, no. In the past, I probably like, oh, it's nice, I want it, and I just would have went for it. But now I'm like, not today. So then I'll kind of just wait until like the prices go down, and then I'll go ahead and purchase. Just wait.
Okay. So that was smart. But now, how long did you go without a car?
Probably about a year and a half.
So you had to catch a taxi, or you had to ride the bus, or you had to ride with a friend to get to where you had to be. Oh my goodness. And so like in the middle of all of this, you got yourself together. You started being responsible with your finances. So tell me how old your son is.
He's 20.
So how old were you when you had your son?
I was 20.
Really? And so he's 20. So when you were raising him, were you married at the time, or were you a single mom?
At the time, I was married. And that was a dumb decision too. Don't do it. Don't do it. I had got married, and that was the worst decision of my life. And then it's like literally the moment it's like as soon as I said I do, I was pregnant. So no, don't do it. I was married, but that didn't go well because he was a military person too. He was a soldier, and he was just out there in the streets. So I pretty much had to raise my son by myself.
What about child support?
He ain't give me none.
So you didn't have no help at all, no family, no parents.
So my grandma tried to help. My grandma she was old, so I didn't want to put that on her. But she tried.
So did she try to help you financially, or did she try to help you like physically raise him?
She tried to help me like physically raise him a little. Like she would watch him when I had to go to work, or if I had to do something, she would watch him for me. So I didn't have to spend that money on daycare. Now that did help because daycare was expensive too. So she kind of watched him while I was at work and everything.
Okay, so when you had your son, you didn't have to worry about daycare.
Not really, because she took that role. She watched him for me.
Oh, until he got school age?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now since he was in the military, he didn't have to pay you anything?
So with him, he was in the military. That joker didn't last 3 years. So he got in, literally got to his first duty station, literally played crazy and got out.
You kidding? And so because he got out,
he's 100% disabled. And when I went to try to get child support, that lady told me he didn't have to pay me that. So yeah, that did that.
So he didn't have to be mandated to pay child support?
No, ma'am.
Well, okay.
It was his choice. If he wanted to pay it, then he could. But he didn't want to pay it, so he didn't.
You know what? I always thought like if a parent had income coming in, like the law could demand them to pay child support.
So I can't really intelligently speak on that specific situation. I knew from what I was understanding, it's because he was 100% disabled. He didn't have to pay me. That was my take on it. Now, I really don't know, but that's what the lady told me. And I almost went across the counter on her because I was already flustered. And that was it. So I never got it for 20 years.
Jack, you was 20 years old. So what was your rank?
At that time, I think I was an actual specialist.
So that's a what, E4?
E4, yes, ma'am.
And that's still kind of low in ranking.
Yep.
So where did y'all live? Did you have an apartment?
Apartment.
And so at that time, you still was not very good with your finances.
I was still struggling. So
how did you do it? Did you live paycheck to paycheck? At that time, did you have to get a car so that you could?
I lived paycheck to paycheck. I got rides from my soldiers, my friends. My grandma would pick my son up, so that made it easy and drop him off. Pretty much. And then I would have to get like, because like you said, I was poor. I didn't have no money. So I would have to go to the church and get stuff for my son. Like, it was that bad. I didn't eat just to make sure he did.
Really? What about food stamps? Was you able to do that?
I couldn't get them. I don't know why I couldn't get them. I guess I made too much in their eyes.
So you made too much money to get the food stamps, but then you would have to go to the church to get food to
and
feed
diapers, food, wipes, whatever the church had.
That's what you had to do. And how long did you have to do that, Jack?
Probably for about a year, and then I came up on a deployment. Now that helped me get my finances stable as well. I came up on a deployment, and I was like, yes. So when I went over there, I didn't buy nothing. Only sent money back for my son, and that was it. So when I came back, I had a good amount of money in my bank account.
Okay, so your grandma took care of him while you was going on deployment. How long did you stay on deployment?
For a year.
Okay, so can you explain to the audience what happens to military pay when you go on deployment?
It just depends where you go on your deployment. When I went, I got hazardous pay, separations pay, and so you get an increase in pay.
And so and so basically what you did, you gave up your apartment.
Gave up my apartment, turned my cell phone off, turned off all the electricity, pretty much packed my stuff up, put it in the storage, and did like that. So everything was just cut off while I was gone.
Okay, so now if we got a female soldier, a young soldier out here, she all in love. Can you give her some advice when it comes to getting married to someone?
I feel like
what to look out for.
So I really don't know what to say. I know a lot of female or male soldiers, they fall in love quick. I feel like they should really just take their time to actually get to know the person first before they actually do marry them. Living together can also change the situation. Like maybe you should try that first before you actually get married. Because sometimes people get married and they start living together and it's the worst thing they ever did. I feel like just take your time, actually get to know the person, make sure you're straight, make sure you can survive without them. If something was to happen, you need to make sure you can survive without that person. So
when you say survive without that person, you mean financially?
Financially, yes, ma'am. Because they get in these marriages and they put everything together. What's theirs, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine type of thing. I feel like when you get married, you should have a separate account. You should have a joint and then a separate.
Okay. To protect yourself.
Correct.
So like when you got married to this guy, how did y'all do y'all finances? Like before you married him?
It was a dumb move. It was a joint account.
Well, see, I'm for a joint account. But when you get a joint account with your spouse, you need to know your spouse. But nowadays you can think you know your spouse and you don't actually know them. But thank God I feel comfortable with my spouse, to where we can have a joint account. But you are saying y'all had a joint account. And so because you had a joint account with him, what happened?
You would have thought it was all his money. So basically we had the joint account. He did most of the spending. So it was like I really didn't get to spend none of my money. Even though it was a joint account, I didn't really get to spend any of the money. So it was like, well, that was a bad decision. I knew then that I should have had a separate account of my own. Not saying that I'm trying to keep money from him. It's just the same thing. At the same time, I have to watch out for myself too. Like, I don't mind sharing. I don't mind having a joint account, us doing things together. I don't mind splitting bills or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I also got to make sure if something was to happen, I could be okay. My child can be okay. I can't go back in the same situation that I was in before.
Okay. Well, that was a smart thing. And so then after you got back from deployment, you had a nice sum of money. How well did you do with managing that?
I actually did pretty decent. I actually bought my car flat out this time. I came back and I actually bought a car, like paid it off, bought it. And so I didn't have a car note. All I had was insurance. I got a little decent apartment that wasn't too much. I pretty much kind of had a handle on my phone. I didn't want to go back to square one. So I kind of like held on to the money a little bit. I feel like the more money I made, the less I want to spend. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I thought about it.
Yeah, that do make sense because of everything that you had been through. You didn't want to go through that again. So you wanted to hold on to what you got. So when you got back from deployment, did you still have to continue going to the church to get diapers and food?
No, ma'am.
And you never had to go back?
No, ma'am.
Well, that is good. And so you raised your son by yourself. And so now with the introduction, I think you said that you were married. Are you married now?
I am.
Okay, so are you married to someone in the military or someone that's not in the military?
Someone that's in the military.
It is someone in the military.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you been married?
2.5 years.
Okay, so that's good. And so how long did you stay divorced then before you decided to get married again?
It was wow. What did we do? 2000 and I want to say 8 is when I got a divorce.
Okay. And so you got married in about 2021.
Yep.
So you stayed divorced a long time.
I was living my best life.
And then you decided to get married again.
Yes. I was nervous, but I did.
Okay. And then how about your son? Was he still at home at the time or was he already
He was
up and
already
out?
headed. He was already headed to college at that time.
Okay. And so where is he now?
He's in Louisiana.
Okay. Is he still in college or did he get done with college?
So he went to college in Mississippi. I guess that's another story. That didn't work out. So then he went to Louisiana where his dad's mother is. He wanted to be in Louisiana. So that's where he is now. He's working. He's got his own place. He's not doing bad, but I still wish he would have went to stayed stuck with college. But I'm trying to let him. I'm not trying to let him make the decisions I make, but I'm also not trying to let him be like I was, like struggling. So I do talk to him. I do help him out. I do tell him what he should and shouldn't do and stuff like that.
Okay, and so now when he got ready to go to college, how did you cover that expense?
So the deal was I was going to let him use my GI Bill, but because his dad was 100%, he went ahead and let him use his stuff. So he paid for college for him.
So now for people who don't understand the benefits that the military get for education, can you give a little short explanation as to what the benefit your son had because his father was 100% disabled in the military?
So when it comes to the GI Bill and stuff like that, because his father was 100% disabled, from my understanding, his college would have been free. Now, again, I don't want to speak if I'm not too intelligent on that subject. I haven't really researched the 100% and stuff like that when you give the child the benefits. But from what I understood, he went to school for free because of that, because he used his father's stuff.
Okay, so that was a blessing. So as far as you know, he doesn't have any student loan debt.
Nope, no ma'am.
That's good. And so how do you feel about student loan debt? What would you tell people in the military now who may have a child 5th, 6th grade, and they may not even be in the military? Like, what would you tell a parent? Yeah, for college.
Start a college fund. Now, if you're in the military, you can still transfer over your benefits to your child. So if you're not going to use them, transfer them to your child. Or if you get out before, you can transfer your benefits. You just start early with a college fund. I wish I would have started with a college fund, even though he didn't need it. I still should have thought. I think I should have thought about that and actually did it for my son, but I didn't. But he still turned out okay with college.
Okay. All right. So that's good. Right. So like the people who listening to us, that's good advice. Like even though he had the benefit, you still looking back on it, you wish that you would have saved something for him for college. So that's good. And so now that you're married, how do you manage your finances now, like being married? Like, do y'all do a budget? Do y'all manage our money together, or are y'all 50-50 people?
So he's a budgeter. Okay. He the man with the budget plan. So we do have a joint account, but we do have separate accounts. And we're okay with that. So we do split the bills 50-50, but if he would, it's not the case, but if he was not to be able to pay, so I would just pay it without no complaints. But we split our bills 50-50. We budget every month and we go like that.
Okay, so he the budget person. And what did y'all do? Did y'all come together and meet to discuss the budget? Like we trying to help people who listening.
Yes, he has a whole Excel sheet, a whole Excel breakdown of the budget.
And you cooperate.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I mean, it's not hurting me. So, of course, I'm going to cooperate.
That's good. So you able to go and look and see exactly what's happening. Y'all working towards your goals together.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so comparing E3 to E7 now, if you can just like, when you think about all the things that you've been through in your life, what's the biggest financial lesson that you have learned?
I would say I feel like the biggest financial lesson I've learned was to pretty much not try to live above my means. Not to live above my means.
Girl, now see, that is so touching because what I have even had to learn myself is that I have to live in my reality. You know, like how you be wanting stuff. You do. It's something to want all the time, every day. But you
Yep.
just have to get to the point to where you gotta say, this is not gonna help me get to my goal any faster.
No,
It
ma'am.
hurting my feelings to say no,
You're
but I
right.
gotta let it go.
and and I'm still working on that because sometimes I'm a Nike person, so I love Nike. That's all I wear. That's all I got. I got stocks in Nike. I should buy a Nike store, but anyway, um, I wear Nike, and every time I go in the store, I just got to have I'm a shoe head, so I just got to have this Nike. I got, and I get in line, and I start thinking. Now, don't let the line be long, because long the line, you know I'm thinking, and I'm putting stuff back.
You in the line putting stuff back.
Yes, ma'am, because I knew I ain't need it. I knew I ain't need it.
So you one of them people who'll go get the stuff, get in line, and then you go and put it
I'm
back.
not going. I ain't disrespectful and just put it anywhere. I'll just be like, you know what? I'm gonna get to the rest. I don't need this, and I'm like, ma'am, I'm not gonna get that. And then I let her have it because I knew I ain't need it.
And you'll put it back.
Yes, ma'am. Because I just, I don't know. I just love Nike, so I'll
Yeah,
get in there and go
but you do
crazy.
you know how many people will go in a store and pick up stuff, and then when they get to the register, you got time to think and you put it back.
Yes,
That's a big deal.
that's what I be doing. Don't let the line be too long. And if it's too long and I'm impatient, I'm putting everything back.
So it do you good to go in the store and the line is long,
Yes,
actually.
ma'am. I think that's God telling me to get myself up out of there because I didn't need to be in there in the first place.
So you have your own, excuse me, your own account. He have his own account. Like, do y'all get an allowance? How do y'all do that? Because we're trying to help other married couples.
So we just pretty much look at our bills, see what the cost is for everything. We put in, like we said, 50-50. We put our money in. We put a little extra in just for GP. And then what we have left over is just much, it's ours.
Okay, and that works for y'all. Okay, and so I'm gonna be closing shortly, but I have a few more questions. So I want to know. I heard you say you have Nike stock.
I
What do
do.
you recommend? And well, not recommended in the stocks or whatever, but your feelings about investing. What would you tell people about investing?
I feel like investing is very smart. Now my partner is the real investor. He the one got me into buying the stocks because he buy lots of stocks and sells and trades and do all that crazy stuff. I don't have the brain capacity to look at them squiggly lines on the go up and down and all that. I don't have it. So he was like, well, you always buy Nike. You need to buy stock in Nike. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I bought stock in things that I actually purchased and that I actually like.
And so, but who keeps up with it? Like, who knows when it's time to sell? Who knows? Your husband keeps up with that for you?
Yes, man, because I can't keep up with it.
So he keep up with it. And then how often do you invest?
So every paycheck I try to buy more Nike stock. It's either Nike. Now Starbucks a little spimp. So I wanted to I wanted to purchase some Tesla stock, but it's like I'm trying to purchase stock in things like I said that I actually like, but it just depends on how much it's costing at the time, and then I'll go ahead and purchase. But the most stock I got is Nike. Like I'm constantly trying to buy more Nike stock because I love Nike that much.
So tell me why you think investing is important.
Because it will help you in the long run. Like if you know what you're doing, if you have somebody that know what they're doing, you can really set yourself up for financial stability where you don't have to worry about anything.
That's true. So like now, look, just listening to you and your story, your mindset when you were E3 is totally different from your mindset now. So just talking to you, it looks like you are future oriented at this time in your life.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So that's why you are investing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have started saying no to yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's why you have started to live below your means, right?
Yeah.
You don't live at
No,
your
ma'am.
means.
No, ma'am. I don't. I have 2 credit cards, and I refuse to get any more
Why do you live below your means?
because I don't want to go back in debt. Like I don't. I that was a low point. Don't never want to go back there again.
Okay,
So
and so
I'm comfortable where I'm at in life. I don't feel like going back to where I had to figure out where my next meal is coming for, or how to pay this bill, or if I can pay this bill, or if I can eat, if I can't eat. And I just don't want to live like that. My life is comfortable. I can go, if I want it, I can just go purchase it without having to think twice. But that's how I like to be.
Well, you know what, Jack? I don't know how you can explain this, but it has touched me. So I'm hoping that somebody else is listening that it has touched. Like how you're talking about, you don't want to go back to living like how you used to live. Like I can feel your heart in that. So can you like just say something to somebody to like if they're doing that now, like if they are going to the church to get food and pampers and they living from paycheck to paycheck and they're struggling. You made it. Can you give somebody just a word of encouragement to tell them you made it? They can make it.
That's correct. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's called discipline. That's the number one hardest thing for somebody to have is discipline. You got to be able to be like, I'm going to cut all this stuff off and focus on what you need to do to actually get ahead. And you got to be consistent and you have to be disciplined. If you don't have discipline, you ain't going to make it because it's like you're veering away from what your goals are and veering away from what you need to do to actually get to where you're going. It's like, I feel like just stick to it, focus. It's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you right now. It's going to be tough, but you're going to have to like push past that. You're going to have to pretty much just focus in on what you want. If you want something bad enough, you're going to work for it.
That is
and
so.
If you don't, that's when that discipline, you ain't going to have discipline to do it.
And you're going to be living from paycheck to paycheck. You're going to be going from pillar to post if you don't have that discipline. And I like that word. I haven't had a guest yet we talk about discipline. So I hope that there's somebody that is listening to you that maybe they are struggling. They doing these payday loans and something just going to happen and it's going to click and they're going to say, I can't live like this no more. And they're going to get disciplined.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your feelings about debt? And then we'll start to close out.
My feeling about discipline is just, it's tough. Like I said, it's like, it's really hard to do when we don't stay consistent enough to be, I don't know. It's like, you know what you need to do. You're just not disciplined enough to do it. Your mind ain't there yet. You're not, I don't feel like when I say some people are not disciplined enough, I don't feel like they hit rock bottom yet. I don't feel like they really hit the bottom where they have to actually say, you know what, I'm done. I feel like they got a little bit more beaten up they're going to get before they actually say, okay, it's time. So it's like, you actually have to hit the bottom, the complete bottom, and say, okay, this is it. I need to figure it out. Because if you keep going in circles and not getting it right, it's because you haven't learned yet. You haven't hit the bottom yet. But once you do, then you'll be disciplined enough to actually get yourself online, get yourself on track to do what you want to do in life.
And so you hit rock bottom.
You know
what that's like.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so how do you feel about debt?
It was
what are your thoughts on debt?
On debt?
Mm-hmm.
Debt, you can recover from debt. Again, you just have to be, you have to know what you need to do. And you have to be, like I said, disciplined enough to actually do what you need to do to get yourself out of the debt. Like I said, for me, I was in debt real bad. So I pretty much looked at all my credit. I looked at where, what I needed to do, like what I need to pay off to actually get myself on track. Like I sat there and pulled my credit reports, looked at them, called each one of the credit, whatever was on my credit, I called each person, settled. Like I said, I settled the debt. I paid it off. And I just gave myself time for my credit to actually build itself back up. And after it got up enough where all that stuff fell off, I got a credit card. And then I started using that responsibly. And that also brought my credit up. So you can recover from debt. You just have to stay focused and disciplined enough to actually do what you need to do to get up out of the debt. Don't keep adding to the debt because you'll never come out. Just cap it off where you at and then start focusing on where you need to go to actually get out of it. Don't keep buying stuff to put yourself in debt. You're already in the hole. Don't keep digging a deeper hole.
But that is true. So based on what you're telling me, debt, you are like, you don't mess around with debt, number one, because you live below your means. So if you're living below your means, that means you're not getting into debt to live beyond your means, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever I feel like if I purchase something, I'm like, I knew I should. It's not like I can't do it. It's just in my head. I'm like, I knew I should have did that dumb stuff. But then I'll cut back on something that I probably wanted. I'll probably cut back on buying something for like a month or two, and then I'm back where I need to be. But yes.
Okay. And it sounds like with your new husband, y'all are on the same page financially.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you working towards your retirement and being able to retire well.
Yes, ma'am. I ain't working for nobody else when I get up out of here.
So how
That
much longer do you plan on?
about 5 more years, I think I can get them. I hope I can get them 5 more. The way
And then
the world going right now, it might be cut short. But I'm trying to get them about 5 and let it go.
okay, and then after 5 years, you planning on retiring and you're gonna live your best life.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna be on somebody's yacht. I'm not working for the man no more.
Okay, and then what about your husband?
He ain't working for the man either.
How much longer he gonna stay in?
Actually, he's getting out in the next year.
Okay, so it'll just be you, and then you have like 4 more years to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Well, Mrs. Jackson, I want to tell you this has been a delightful conversation. I appreciate so much that you have been real
Yes,
with the
ma'am.
audience. And so, in closing, can you just give 2 points that you think you can spread out to the world that will help somebody, be it a young person, a young soldier? 2 points, two
For,
recommendations.
yes, for the young soldiers, I feel like you should you take your time. Just because you got the money don't mean you need to spend it. Kind of like make smart decisions from the beginning because it will really set you up in the long run. Also, I mean, to me, that's the main thing. Like, I feel like people should just like take a look at life. Like right now, it's inflation. Like everything's high. I feel like we just need
Yes,
to take a pause on buying stuff and just like focus on what you need to do to be able to survive. First of all,
right.
inflation. But outside of that, just don't just because you got it, don't need to spend it. That's my thing. Just because you got it, you don't necessarily have to spend the money.
That's right. That's right. I agree too. Well, Miss Jackson, it has been a pleasure to meet you. It has been a pleasure to have you on my show.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I don't know, the next time I bring you back on, it might be you and your husband.
What? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you again for being my guest. I'm sure you have been a blessing to the world. And until next time,
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
see you later.
See you
You're
later.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Sergeant Jackson. Bye. Hi, everyone. I am sure you enjoyed my conversation with Sergeant Jackson. If you enjoyed this content, I ask you to please subscribe to my channel. I will be here every Thursday bringing you a new inspirational story, and I look forward to making somebody happy or making a difference in somebody's life. And until next Thursday, again, I say thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.